Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel once more. Now, I'm here today with Lynn FLowers, who I only met recently, didn't I, Lynn? But we are I don't know, we're sisters at heart because we are pulling from the same information fields. We're doing the same work. We're just working so intuitively and so well together. We've already been doing lots of grid work and things like that. So it's been an absolute joy to meet her and to work with her. So we're going to have a conversation today, but I wanted to start by asking Lynn just to give you a bit of her story, because she has a very interesting story. She's a starseed, like so many of us are, and she's had a lot of challenges and a lot of ups and downs to get to where she is now. So yeah, over to you, Lynn, and yeah, welcome.
Thank you. I'm very pleased to be here, and it's lovely to have met you. What a gift. So, yeah, all part of the divine plan, evidently, to
Totally.
meet you at this point. Absolutely. Yeah, well, I was born in 1965 in Lancashire in the UK, and I was born to a family that looked quite normal from the outside. You wouldn't have believed anything untowards about them, but it was actually that both sides of my family were heavily involved in mind control and in actual sort of satanic black magic sort of cycles and patterns running down way back from the ancestors. And I know now I chose to come into that family, and I chose to incarnate, knowing full well that when I came in, I probably would be hit immediately coming in. And in fact, I tried to come in 10 years before, and they actually made sure that my mother miscarried. She was poisoned 10 years before I came in. And then I managed to come in again, come back again. But this time I was under the protection of the councils, and I managed to actually be birthed. And yeah, from a very early age, I was targeted, and they knew, I suppose, who I was. So I was subject to Satanic Ritual Abuse and MKUltra from about 4.5 years old. I was
And
taken.
I was going to just
Yeah,
say, for those who don't really know what MKUltra is, just
yeah,
a sentence or two.
yeah, sure. Mind control, uh, at the extreme end.
Is extreme
Unfortunately,
use, isn't it?
yeah, yes,
Breakdown.
yeah. Fragmentation of consciousness
Mm.
has to be done at a very early age for them to be able to split your consciousness, to be able to insert programs into different alters that have jobs to do. And that's what they did with me. And because of my ability to open interdimensional space, then they knew that they wanted to use me for that, predominantly, but also there was a knowledge, they had knowledge of my previous incarnations, so they sort of knew what my blueprint was, really, to a
Mm.
certain extent.
Uh,
So
I mean,
I was you.
it
Yeah,
it seems to me that your lineage has been astral tagged, basically. So every time
yeah,
it's like an alert goes out, coming in
yeah.
again. Yeah.
Yeah, coming in again. So that went on for a number of years. Apparently, though, at the age of about 14, I found out now, I actually started to shut down, and
Mm.
they couldn't stop it. And I started to shut down, and they couldn't use me for opening interdimensional space.
Mm.
So that ability to do that shut down apparently I was 14 around that time. So they couldn't use me in that capacity. So they used me for sort of remote viewing, and uh, sort of galactic remote viewing as well, off planet, things like that.
Mm.
And I had no knowledge of this in my core self. My
Mm.
core self, Lynn, had no knowledge that this had happened to me. And I only found out in 2018, 2019. And I'd been awake since about 2008. And I had quite a deep dive when I woke up. And I was 44 at the time. And I'd had a deep dive and been pushed from the very beginning. I felt there was a timeline. There was like a time limit on me, like you must get to a certain point by this time, right? And that was true. I now realize that was very true. So I was very, I was on it, trying to work on my shadow self and working on my wounds and why did I have low self-esteem and what was this and what was that, and this just went on and on and on. And I also sort of quit my job nursing in 2009. I went full-time into healing, and realized that I could really bring quite powerful protocols for healing. They used to just come in as I was working. I developed those. I started my own academy in 2016 called She's Powerful. I worked with the Divine Feminine. Before that, I had my journey of false light,
Yeah.
where
I think we've all
I
done that
was
one.
went round a circuit of false light for quite a while.
Yeah.
Not realizing, no, I was programmed at the same time, and it would have been very convenient for them for me to stay in
Yeah.
that arena, because I then couldn't have done any damage really.
I mean,
But
you're a powerful person. You know, and you have the ability to sort of bring people to you. You would have been, you know, they would have loved you to set up some false academy that led people astray and led them into their false light pathways. You would have been great. Yeah, they would have loved you for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And but I just knew I was hitting a glass ceiling energetically, and something was wrong, and I could feel it, and I couldn't tell you what it was.
Yeah.
And so, working on that, asking questions, what is this? Why do I feel confined? What? And then realizing that, in fact, it was that divine feminine energy rising within me that actually helped me break free from the false light, which was fantastic. So, I stopped working with Archangel Metatron and archangels and moved away from that, and then realized that I started to expand. And yeah, everything was just so beautifully, divinely led, because I've always been good at listening, and following my gut intuition.
Yeah.
That's one of my superpowers, really, I suppose, is I always follow that inner knowing.
Yeah.
Because I know that it's the compass.
Yeah.
It's the compass, true north. So I did that, and as I say, I got to 2018, 2019. I knew I had some problems with my inner child, and it was just one Vision Quest meditation that did the whole thing. I just listened to someone else's Vision Quest meditation, which I normally wouldn't have done, and I discovered an aspect of myself running around screaming with a pack of wolves around it. And I'm thinking, what's going on here? So I've gone right up to the wolves, and they've all just sat there and sort of like parted. And I thought she was screaming because of the wolves, and
Yeah.
that they were chasing her, but they were protecting her. But yeah, they were running around in a pack protecting the aspect.
Yeah.
So I just walked straight in. I walked straight into the field, into the pack. It parted, and I picked her up and I said, "What are you doing here? Like, what is this?" And I suppose it was symbolic of my journey to uh, go and rescue my altars, go and rescue my fragmented inner child.
Yeah.
And so I picked her up and brought her back into my field, and then quite quickly was guided, and very powerfully actually was given protocols to go and get my fragmented inner child, which I did. And then I discovered that I'd been satanically ritually abused, which was a huge shock.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huge shock.
I mean,
And
it's difficult enough to even believe it happens, let alone it's
yeah,
happened to you.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, I think particularly, you know, Christos beings who are aligned to source, can't even imagine, you know, that this is real.
yeah,
People would really
yeah,
do this.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it was shocking, I must admit, and it took me off center as it would do. What came in my favor was because I had such good daily practice.
Mm,
Uh, I drew on all of that to keep me upright,
mm,
you know. But it was a shock, and at first you don't believe it. No, no, it can't be true. It can't be true. And I did actually um, go to see a specialist in Canada
mm,
who actually, well, there's a story to that. But anyway, what I'll say is in that field, it was very interesting that I was able to recall memories, but they were detached. So that was a good thing. It was
yeah.
like I was viewing it from another room,
Mm,
and the feelings were with me in regards to it. So I was able to view and observe it and describe it,
yeah.
just in little bits.
Yeah.
Um, and after about 12 sessions of her recording what I'd seen, and then her turning around and saying, "That's a common ritual." Yeah,
Mm,
I then realized it was real. Like,
mm,
this is real. I'm not making this up. This is real. Um, so yeah, it was a bit of a deep dive. But my goodness, I knew I could, if I could heal it in myself and quickly, then I could help others with that, with what I knew about how to heal the light body.
yeah.
So, uh, and I tried different groups that like specialized in healing satanic ritual abuse, and I just observed, and I realized that some of these women have been trying to heal for 20 years.
Mm,
I
mm,
just thought, this is not right.
yeah.
Yeah, this is not right. And I vowed that I would find a way to bring protocols forwards that would vastly accelerate that for
Mm,
someone. Uh, and yeah, that's what drove me forwards, really. Like, how can you suffer for 20 years? This
yeah.
is just all their life, 30
Yeah.
years or
Yeah.
whatever, you know. So
You know, and while they're in that place of suffering, and they,
yeah,
you know, it's very deliberately done to
yeah,
stop you from stepping into your mission, stop you from stepping into your purpose, stop you from being effective in the world. So
yeah,
that healing is fundamental,
yeah.
fundamental. Yeah.
So that I managed to do that, and I managed to heal myself in that. And there was people that came along. I'm not saying there wasn't, some powerful star seeds
Yeah.
like came along at certain times and just had
They just
something.
pop into your life, don't they?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They're
They
there
had,
for whatever, and then they go
yeah,
again. And oh God,
yeah,
what gifts they bring.
yeah.
Yeah. Mm,
Yeah, they just came in like and gave me a clue to something or held space while I did something. So that was fantastic.
mm,
So that was all great. And then actually the mind control stuff, it took another 2 years before I was ready to actually sort that out. And it was interesting that I had already, my core self, core Lynn, had already sort of almost like shut down their ability to work. So I wasn't actively working or an asset at all. But so we were able to, when we actually discovered the altars,
mm,
um, we actually managed to send them back to source,
mm.
which was the kindest thing to
When
do.
when you say altars, again, describe for people who don't understand.
Altars are your fragmentation of your consciousness, which is then working independently of you and believes they are a certain image, even though they haven't got a body. You're the body. They think that they look like this, they've got a name, they've got a job to do. And these altars were quiet and silent all my life.
Mm,
I never experienced them. There's a few things now explains like certain dreams that I may have had in the
mm,
past, and I realized they probably were in a dream and I didn't even realize.
mm,
But they were very clever and they're very boxed in, and you dissociated. You just have no idea that they exist. And actually, my pearl energy, my seed atom, the pearl energy that we, you know, our seed atom, our divine presence energy sitting there. Part of that had been taken in the Satanic Ritual Abuse, and it was sitting, would you believe, in the Great Pyramid. So it was sitting in the Great Pyramid, and apparently it was contributing to duality
Mm.
on the
Keeps
timeline.
you,
So
by capturing the seed atom, crushing the seed atom,
yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
finding the seed atom, whatever they do with it,
yeah,
they keep you looped
yeah,
in the bi-wave, which is
yeah,
the duality consciousness, extreme duality. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. So we got that back. There was a group of us that went to get that, and we got
Permission.
it back. Yeah, yeah, we went and got it back. And when we got it back, that was interesting. As soon as that came back, the altars were liberated, and well, okay, it's just odd. It was like a door opened in my head. It was weird, and I could hear these voices, and they're all talking with each other, and I was just like, "Oh, this is a bit. I'm not sure about this. Like, this is not, you know. Hey, I'm not sure about this." But within 24 hours, we'd sent them to source,
Yeah.
which meant that they were gone.
Yeah.
That part of my consciousness was sent back, um, to somewhere gorgeous and amazing.
Yeah.
So, you know, almost they were given their trip, ascension trip, weren't they? Like, there you go,
Yes.
go back to source.
Mm.
And then call in. Call in was just sitting here.
Mm.
Call in. So that's the story really, and the memories, they're stored in your body actually, but we do not need to go over the memories.
Yeah.
And that is the myth, that you need to reintegrate through memories. You do not,
No, because
because
that keeps you
yeah,
sitting in the trauma.
absolutely. And you're Lucian, you're giving that trauma back to, you know,
Well, they
the
feed
ones that
off
are
it.
using it.
You're
Mm,
constantly angsting about it, the grief,
yeah,
the tears, the why me's, all of this.
yeah, yeah,
They're just
yeah,
siphoning that off you and
absolutely.
smacking their lips
Yeah.
in
I
glee.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah. So there's, some memories have come up spontaneously at times, uh, and they've had to come up evidently. The body has said you need to see this.
Yeah.
It will explain something.
Yeah.
But that's fine. That's fine. But I'm, you know, I know, we know that if I was given all those memories at once, it just, I couldn't
No.
cope with it. No one can. No human being can do that.
Yeah.
And there are lots of people walking around now that have got full recall, and that is not right. That, you
Mm.
know, that is where it keeps them stuck.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. If we, every little incident, every, all of the traumas, all of the catastrophes, all of the abuse, I mean, if that came flooding back in, it would paralyze you.
It would.
So
Uh,
yeah, so we get fed little bits here, a bit of understanding, a
yeah,
picture, just
yeah,
a picture of
yeah,
something
yeah,
there.
yeah,
And we can gradually,
yeah,
begin to put a picture together. But
absolutely.
the key to it that you said so beautifully there is you just let it go. You
Yeah,
don't sit on it.
yeah,
It's
no,
there to be clear.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And it took me a
and
long time to figure that one out.
absolutely. You know, I mean, uh, we know our personality, our human mind wants to analyze everything.
Yeah, wants one to understand, must understand. Yeah.
I must understand. And
Mm.
at times I've gone down that rabbit hole, and then I've gone, you know, and then thought, oh my goodness me, I wish I'd not even started to dig.
Yeah.
So, but you have to, of course, I have to understand what I was doing and
Mm.
why I was doing it and what they were using me for.
Mm.
But also, what's wonderful to know is that as I've healed and transmuted that, and shut down all the subatomic portals that they put in you and all of
Mm.
that stuff, and because I'm pretty good with universal law
Yeah.
and how to use universal law, that's one of my
Yeah.
gifts.
That's why you need to know about it, folks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Uh, I was able to rescind every ritual and ceremony that I ever took part in. And I've had it confirmed that every ritual and ceremony I took part in with any person on this earth or interdimensionally has been cancelled and reversed.
Yeah.
So anything they did with me to, you know, to feed this prison planet has actually been collapsed and
Yeah.
has gone. So it was devastating for them, I suppose, because boom,
Yeah.
it got wiped out and cancelled.
Mm.
And I know that part of the mission was to actually go and look at how they use this Lucian, how
Yeah.
they use this energy on the Baphomet grids,
Mm.
which, you know, a grid that they use for satanic ritual abuse,
Mm.
which again, well, you'll know more than me, Sarah, about that.
And
But
there's a sheet in the Lost Wisdom Library all about the Baphomet.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
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 And I know that that was devastating. If you wake up and you activate during active programming or during your lifetime, and you heal and transmute it and alchemize it, it's devastating to them.
Yeah.
You send, you know, you send that back down the grids.
It's like a wave going,
So
you know, a back.
a wave,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
a back wave,
Yeah.
yeah. Like I always I call them atomic bombs, energy atomic bombs, you know, like an atomic bomb
Yeah.
going, yeah,
Yeah.
going down the grid,
Yeah.
and like sort of taking a lot of it out. And there's not only me, I've met many others now, because I do assist in helping with people that have experienced what I did. And we do it every time with them. So we know
Yes.
that we're making a huge impact, you
Yes.
know,
Yeah.
which is, you know, and hopefully one day, not too in the far future, I'm setting the intention to create protocols for children
Oh,
that
brilliant.
will
Yeah.
be really fast,
Yeah.
uh, of least, you know,
Yeah.
problem for them, so that we can reverse it very fast for a
Yeah.
child.
Because children have
Yeah,
been so badly targeted, particularly
absolutely.
recently with,
So that's
you
the
know,
background, and that gives me that I'm quite a strong person, strong personality, core self. So that I think that stood me in good stead. I was rooted in my core self, and uh, where I came from, I suppose, my mission. I knew it was coming anyway,
yeah.
and we compensated for that.
Mm.
And I know I had divine help. I
We've
know I
always
did.
got this is the bit we
Always
forget.
got it.
Yeah, no matter how bad it gets,
Yeah.
we've always got divine help. That is, we are never separate, we are never alone with all of this. It just feels like it at times, because we lose that inner connection. And until we've cleared this crud, which is the mission we came to do, as you say, you've so beautifully spoken about, until we've cleared that crud, it's almost like the clear channel can't reconnect again.
Absolutely. And
But you know, we don't walk alone in dealing with
we
this.
don't. We
Yeah.
don't. I mean, the conversations I had, you know, and you know, with my highest guides and Yeshua. I remember having a conversation with Yeshua years ago, where he said, "I walked every footstep with you, Lynn.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was with you all the time it was happening to you. Don't don't think that I wasn't there. We were with you. But
Uh,
you had to experience it, you
yeah,
know."
and that's, I think that's the thing that so many people will say was, well, why if Yeshua was there, did he allow this to happen? But the
Yeah,
thing is, this has been going on. You know, what happened to you has happened to so many, not just at this moment in time, but down through
absolutely.
the centuries, again and again and again. These, you know, the human race has been so abused, and that needs clearing. And
Absolutely.
so many earth humans are so deeply traumatized, so emotionally paralyzed because of the
Yeah,
levels of abuse they've had. You know, powerful, strong, because you have to be strong, earth seeds Starseeds have chosen to come in boots on the ground missions to take on physicality and to go through these experiences, because as Lynn says, you know, there's the strength there, the understanding there to put an atomic bomb into the timelines of all of this, to start to clear it.
Yeah.
Because
And so
the
yeah,
healing can't begin until the ground is cleared.
absolutely.
So,
And I don't regret it. I wouldn't
well, I mean,
want to repeat it.
respect at
Yeah,
every level, because
yeah, yeah,
it's a tough mission. But
yeah,
as you say, you know, you have the strength.
yeah.
You wouldn't have been chosen for this mission if you didn't have the strength. And I think that's something we all need to remember, is we are not given more than we can cope with. It may feel like it at times, but that's because you don't believe in yourself. Others believe in you far more than you believe in yourself. So yeah, take strength from that.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, I wouldn't want to repeat it. And I've already mentioned that for my next assignment.
Yeah, we've had words.
We've had words.
Yeah,
We've
we've
had
had words. Yes, it's kind of like next time around.
but I'll make the most of it. I'll
Yeah,
make the most of it, and I'm free.
yeah,
And don't think, you know, like to try and prevent me. It went on and on and on. So it didn't,
yeah,
you know, like it went
yeah,
on from there. And you know, I've got my stories in my Diary of a Wayshower on my YouTube channel. So if anybody wants to listen in
yeah,
more detail, I've got it on there. I've got 12 episodes where I went into great detail
yeah,
just to put it on record so people could listen to, not I just don't describe any of the abuse thing, but it's more of my story and
yeah.
and what
And
and
I
what
hope
occurred.
at some stage Lynn's going to write it out, because I think you know, why are we doing this? Why are we talking on a public channel about things like this? Because it's very personal, and neither you nor me are people who really want to splatter our personal lives all over the world. But there is value in this, in sharing, you know, the traumas that we've been through. A, others aren't alone, but B, you know, it helps. I think it helps other starseeds who have been deeply targeted as well, to
Absolutely.
actually realize that there's a reason and a purpose behind this, and they have the strength, and they're not alone to pull themselves out of it. And it's only because you're here on a big mission, they are trying so hard to take you down. I
Absolutely.
mean, if you were here to do nothing at all, they really wouldn't be touching you. Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah,
you've almost got to sort of see it as uh, uh, almost a compliment that they're coming after you, that they rate what you're here to do so highly. Um,
yeah.
yeah.
And they're scared of you.
They are. They are.
And and just think
That again is, yeah, I mean, the beautiful point. They are. We are far more powerful than them when we choose to step into that knowing and that being. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
We are devastating to them.
Mm.
We're you know, and they've got to try and stop us.
Yeah.
You know, wouldn't you? If you know someone is just going to be devastating to you in 2 years' time or 5 or 10 years' time, you're going to do all you can to prevent them while they're trying to power up.
Yeah.
You know, because
Yeah.
once we're in our power,
Yeah. So,
we're in,
you know, while you're growing up, particularly on this planet, it's so blooming confusing when you come onto this planet. You come down through all the nets, all of the frequency fences and the broadcasts, mind control broadcasts and things, into this very tight little body, you know,
absolutely.
into this density, and you're thinking, God, what am I doing here? You know what? And you're trying to really get back in touch with your core self again, and everything around you is trying to stop you getting back in touch with your core self. So, I mean, that's the time you hit them, when
Absolutely.
they're still reeling from coming onto this
Yeah.
planet. That's when starseeds tend to be hit. Yeah,
Yeah, we get hit, and we have to see through all the
yeah,
deceptions and the lies and the manipulations and the play, everything that they
yeah,
do to try and take us offline.
yeah,
Uh, and we're as I say, have faith in the fact that you know, when you are activated, you're very powerful,
Yeah,
and in a good way, in a very good way. And just you being in your power and emanating that frequency is enough for many of us. That just holding the frequency is
yeah,
an amazing thing to be able to do.
yeah,
Never mind what you do with it.
yeah,
You know, but it's you know, we've got, unfortunately, we do have to have courage
yeah.
to push through the confines of
And you,
sort of, you know,
yeah,
society and
yeah.
people not understanding who you are.
Well, you know, we need difference. We need to move into different timelines, into different ways of being, different ways of living, different ways of understanding the world. And that the very fact that you've got someone who's doing it differently or seeing it differently or experiencing it differently often gets kickback
Yes.
from those who are kind of like so frightened. It's like, just go away and leave me alone. Don't change anything. Just keep the status quo, because at least I know I'm alive within that, you know. But you might threaten me if anything changes. You know, there's such fear at that level. So those who are coming in to bring change do get a lot of kickback, I'm afraid. So you need, do you say you need strength to stand and say, no, this is my truth and it feels right, and and it feels good. You know, this feels like you know, what needs to be. So I don't budge from this course, even though there are those trying to knock me off it, because you've got to anchor in those energies. I mean, we manifest through energy, and we are great creators. You know, the human race is a wonderful creator race when it knows how to use the energies. Now those creative energies have been hijacked and used by the fallen races to create this dystopia that we're in. They've used our energies to create this, and they've got you so frightened that you're afraid of thinking of something better. And we need to shift that, so that all of, you know, that wonderful creative energy and juice that everybody has is going into, you know, much higher visions and not being hijacked by these bloody bastards. Excuse my French, everybody, but God
It's
almighty.
true.
God almighty.
I use the worst word, the worst one than
Yeah,
that.
you know, I don't like to swear like that on a public, but yeah, so
But
apologies to everybody for
yeah,
that. But oh,
no, it's
yeah, I'm
true.
not being too kind to them there. Mm,
No, we shouldn't be either,
yeah,
you know. And I think also we've got to understand that we can't love and light them away.
no,
Yeah.
rainbows and
Oh,
unicorns, lovely, love them.
yeah.
You know, feels great, but the
Yeah.
dark is real.
Yeah.
The
And we can't
the
love them
shadow is
away.
real. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
of course, Source loves all of the creation,
yeah,
regardless of whether they've lost their God spark or not,
yeah,
or whether they've decided to violate divine laws or whatever. Source loves all,
yeah,
of course, but be assured that Source will do what it needs to do to clear uh, and sort of take away what's causing suffering to the rest of the
yeah,
creation.
yeah,
Um, and we're actually at that point, aren't we, Sarah? But
yeah,
we're
yeah, yeah.
actually, it's getting a bit tougher. Like Source
We're
is getting,
at
yeah,
the point where the damage they're doing is threatening to all of creation now. I
yes,
mean, it threatens all of this creation, not just thee and me, but you know, but the entire universe is within a hair's breadth of being damaged beyond the point of being able to pull it back. And so it's like a stern parent stepping in and saying, no, enough. And in come the
yeah,
Royshers, in come,
yeah,
you know, in come the energies, in come
yeah,
the, and it's kind of like you this is choice point now.
yeah,
You either come back to me and
Yeah.
to you behave well, or you go.
Yeah.
With my love, you've got your phantom universe, you've
Yeah.
got your phantom matrix. You go and you live, you live the way you choose to live in that, but you are not
Yeah.
destroying this creation.
Yeah. You're not taking the rest of us with you.
Yeah, yeah,
And also I always get, what source can create, source can take away.
yeah,
So,
absolutely.
I've noticed recently, because of the grid work that I do as well with others and with you, and
Mhm.
that it's getting tougher. I can feel it, like the sort of what should I say, the border point, or the point of
Yeah.
no return. They're getting tougher,
Mhm.
because I've seen that with entities and beings being sort of like given notice
Yeah,
that that grid is about to collapse,
yeah,
which or go, and you know maybe in the past being more lenient with them, and now sort of just sending them back to source, like
yeah.
you're off.
Choice point. A or
Yeah,
B. Yeah,
yeah. It's almost like the redemption point is past that. We're
yeah,
past that, and like you've just got to go back
yeah.
to to the point of all
There
creation.
have
So
been,
you think to exist,
yeah,
you go, yeah,
there have been
because you're
so
too
many
damaged.
chances to take
Yeah,
that redemption. The hand has been held out for thousands and millions of years to these creatures, and they've chosen
yeah,
not to take it. In fact, I write about it in the. I've got a book hopefully coming out in the next couple of weeks on cosmic history, in which I write about the birthing of the Phantom Matrix, what birthed it and what happened. And
yes,
it could have been, there was a choice at that particular point.
yeah,
But those who had chosen to follow a fallen consciousness and had birthed this monstrous creation,
yeah,
feeding off our creation, because it's the energies of this creation that have allowed that to be. There was a choice point when it was first birthed to cut it off, to sever it from the life force of this, and it would have had its own little life, but it would have been gone by now, because it would have fed on itself until it imploded, basically. But because when it happened, they took the fallen creatures took innocence with them. Those who, through no fault of their own, were caught up in it. The founders of this universe and the God worlds beyond would not let those go without the opportunity to rescue
yeah,
any soul. I mean, this is one of the beautiful things. It really
yeah,
chokes me every time. It's no
right,
soul, no soul shall be left behind who wants to be rescued.
yeah,
And,
yeah,
and we, everything that has fallen out since then,
yeah.
it has been on the back of that. It could have been stopped immediately, but it wasn't, because of deep, deep compassion and love for all creation.
Absolutely. Was that the Paladorian Covenant?
Pallidoran Covenant, yes, which,
That's,
I mean, it was restated
yeah,
with the fall of Tara, but
yes,
initially it took place
yeah,
at
yeah,
the Laran Wars and the birthing of the
yeah,
everything that went down then. I mean, it's a massive story. It's an epic
yeah,
story. I've loved writing
yeah.
about it.
That, that's another thing that we need to, there's not, Starseeds need to really start looking for the real truth
Yeah,
of our galactic history, and the
not
fact,
just our Earth history, our galactic
absolutely,
history. Yeah,
our off-planet history and what we're really doing here,
yeah.
because I don't think,
It's a much bigger story than just planet Earth. A much, much bigger story. Yeah,
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 and there's we're in the timeline wars, aren't we? We're it's the side of history that you don't get delivered through false light teachings.
yeah.
And many starseeds are not aware of the true history, because we've been made to forget.
Well,
uh
effectively, we've been mind wiped.
yes, we have.
And our DNA has been unplugged. When our DNA is plugged into certain frequencies, we access the information fields, and these racial histories and racial memories and galactic family memories and things are all there for us to plug into. It's like, we can just go to the library and do some investigation. But we've had our library ticket taken off us very deliberately, and they've torn it up in front of us and then fed us a load of bullshit over here, basically, about who we are and what we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's getting that message out to as many starseeds as we can.
Yeah.
And to wake up, and question everything,
Yeah.
everything that you've learned, question everything that you've ever sort of been aware of since you woke up, question in great detail, because
I mean, people talk about inversions, but it literally is. They tell you this. It's really that. It's 180 degrees the whole time, and you've got to be prepared to take that on board. And it can be very difficult for us. Everything you thought you knew, everything you grew up with. I mean, it's a massive trauma to realize you've been so badly fooled, basically betrayed. It's a deep, deep, deep betrayal. Because the Christos human being, is a trusting human being, a loving, a caring, a kind human being. It wouldn't do these things to anything else. And it's devastating when it's done to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And yeah, it takes a lot. It takes time to get your head around it.
It does.
But we've got this move, haven't we? We've got this bifurcation coming up.
Yeah.
We're in this corridor of time, and I'm sure you got the same information, that we're in this crucial corridor, and we've got to get our act together.
Yeah.
By 27, really, I presume, around 2020. Who knows what the cutoff date is? Who knows?
Yeah, well,
when it is it 2028? Is it 20
through at the moment? But yeah, I mean, it is, as you said, we've got to get our act together. And we are getting our act together. I don't want to frighten anybody out there, because actually what I see is so hopeful. It's growing and it's growing. So we are heading in the right direction. But by God, we need more of you, please. We're tired. We've been doing this a long time, and we are very beaten up and battered. We need the cavalry to sort of come over the hill behind us, and just we're not gonna give up our place. We're gonna keep forging forwards, but a little bit of oomph, would be very gratefully received, wouldn't it?
Be gratefully received. Yeah, because it's just beautiful to see. You think you're on your own on the horseback at the front, and then you turn, there's just crowds of you behind us. Which is what we need, and because we've got so many lovely things to look forward to.
We have, Lynn and I think we'll do more of these chats, and we'll kind of like, I think it's important to know. I think it's important for Starseeds to hear people like Lynn's story, and to know that there is not just life, but true sovereignty, true empowerment, true embodiment that lies the other end of it, and that you are here, and you have a very clear mission, and you are needed. And there are people like Lynn, people like me, people like Felix and the like, who are here to help you. I mean, that's we hold out our hand all the time, don't we? In everything we do. We've got our own work to do, but if we can help somebody just make that step into theirs, reach out, because that's what we're here for. We're here to help each other. I say it again and again. We're all here to help each other. So, thank you from the bottom of my heart, Lynn, for sharing so honestly and so freely, what is a traumatic story, and it's very, very personal. And
you're welcome.
Everyone learn from it, and learn the discipline and the strength that Lynn has shown. You have that too. And together together we can all make a difference.
We can. We can.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lynn. And thank you everyone for watching. And we'll see you again shortly with any luck, Lynn.
We will.
Bye.